Hey guys, this is Katie. My husband and I work on the farm, and our two young boys love helping out when they can. I'm usually the one that you'll talk to if you're interested in purchasing our beef or pork, so don't hesitate to reach out and ask any questions if you're interested. As I entered into my young adult years, I struggled with various mental health problems as I left the comfort of the scripted world of formal education and entered the workforce. As a result of much love and patience from my family, including a very new husband taking me to several doctor's appointments when I had nothing to give back to him but misery, I made it to the other side to eventually find, for the most part, a happy and purposeful life as an adult. I say for the most part because there are times that I still struggle. There are times that I get triggered and my response is to fight. This can be due to someone intentionally or not making me look stupid, lazy, unwilling to communicate, or anything among a long list of offenses that I have deemed unacceptable. This fighting includes returning the perceived hurt in the form of insults, hate, or just chaos into the other person's world. Not only do I feel horrible afterwards, but I've usually created such a barrier between me and the perceived perpetrator, as well as any other witnesses, that I am now forced to build my way back to them to restore what relationship is left. It is often in the midst of this decision to restore these relationships that I have another decision to make. Do I stop fighting altogether? Have I messed up so badly that there is nothing to redeem between the two of us? Have I ruined all that we've overcome over the years? Have I so invalidated the truth of Christ that I profess that I need to stop trying to be a light for Him? In these moments of contemplation, I often hear God's reassuring voice, "Not now. It is not your decision to make. What I have started, you can't stop." To which I reply, I can make it look like an accident so that it doesn't ruin your reputation, so that they don't have to explain to my boys what I've done, but most selfishly so that I don't have to keep fighting. I'm so tired. I am tired of feeling like I have to push back constantly. I am tired of trying so hard, then failing so badly. I am tired of apologizing and asking for forgiveness. When will my family have heard their last apology and decide to no longer trust me? When will my boys no longer see Christ in my life? And his response is, when that day comes, I will decide. I will make sure that your life shows me, and when it doesn't, it is my decision. So good or bad, as long as I am on earth, my job is to, no matter how hard it is or how tired I am, keep fighting and doing my best, even when I'm devastated, embarrassed, and exhausted. Even on those days when I have nothing inside of me to give that is positive, I have to keep digging. I have to keep searching for any light I've not extinguished. 2 Corinthians 4:6-7. When I do this and go back to the Bible, God has always filled me back up. Romans 8:18. It's not that He doesn't stop me from spiraling down like a loving parent watching their child throw a fit when boundaries are established. He just waits until the emotions are gone and I've committed to walk towards Him in faith. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. I am not always sure what is on the other side, but I know what I am doing by myself is not working. I don't know how people will react to my truths, but I do know that what I am hoping for, love, joy, peace, and patience in my life and those around me, will eventually come. Not because I have physical evidence at the moment, but when I look back, I can see all that He's done for me. He has always multiplied what I've done in faith by more than I could ever imagine. My boys are more caring and giving than I could possibly teach them to be, and they continue to amaze me by their insights into life and the world around them. So to all of you that are fighting, continue to do so. 2 Timothy 4, 5 through 9. He has given us what we need when we need it, and he will not waste our sorrows. Isaiah 53, 3. As long as we are here on earth, we have a mission to represent him and his truth. Matthew 5, 14 through 16. We have a mission to show others how to love. It is not always easy, and it may often be messy, but it will be purposeful and rewarding as long as our eyes are on him. Think of Peter in the storm. The only thing that kept him afloat was keeping his eyes on Christ instead of the storm around him. Matthew 14, 28 through 31. And to those family members and friends that refuse to believe the lies that others believe about themselves, thank you. Your commitment to truth first and those around you is seen, heard, and appreciated. May God strengthen you as you strengthen those around you in his name. Luke 6:38. For his anger endureth but a moment, in his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Psalm 35.
Hey, Kate, that's so brave of you to talk about it. And you talk about a really hush-hush subject most people won't talk about. They won't talk about suicide. And suicide, I was a counselor for 30-some-odd years, and I find there's two kinds of suicide. There's the suicide of which people are seeking for attention, and they do stupid things, and they don't want to commit suicide, but they fail their plans, and they do. Then there's other people who are just like, I'm tired. I'm just so tired. And it doesn't seem I'm making it. And rather than just go on and causing the waves to roar in my family's life, I just like to leave it. Mm-hmm. But that still is not an answer because it doesn't. No. Because what it leaves your family with was an idea of, well, I guess there's something out there that cannot be conquered even by Christ. Mm-hmm. And that's not true. Or right. I do not believe that, and I know you don't believe it. So what we have to do is probably tell people who are struggling, just like you, what are the steps that they can take to relieve themselves of the struggle. You know, have you ever had a nightmare in which you were trying to do something, and the further you went, the further you got behind, and you struggled, and you woke up exhausted going, I never do it. I think Satan puts us in a delusion, mm-hmm. and the delusion is you can fix it. Mm-hmm. You can fix it. As if you caused it, you can fix mm-hmm. it. Mm-hmm. And that's absolutely not true.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Yeah, it's all your fault, and you did. And you could, if you didn't want to, you didn't have to. I mean, all of that wonderful lies he tells us. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, because I don't know a single Christian who has not had struggle with depression, who's mm-hmm. not had struggle with anxiety, who's not had struggle with not just those things. That's the fruit of the stinking thinking, mm-hmm. you know, feeling inadequate, feeling like I will never actually succeed because the more I want to do something, the less I do it, and vice versa. Of course, we see Paul in the 7th chapter of Romans speaking of the same thing. I think that one thing for me is I have to remember everything that is negative in the world is tied to feelings. Mm-hmm. Now, let's start off here. Emotions are different than feelings because emotions come from the Holy Spirit. Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, those are emotions. Feelings are fear-based, are lie-based, and they keep telling me that they're the truth because I feel it. I use the scripture, some substance of things, hope for it, evidence of it. That's faith.
Mm-hmm.
Faith and feelings are the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I get away from feeling and feeling that feeling is true?
I don't know. I can speak from my experience. For me, like in those moments, the feeling is so intense. I just have to rely on the truth that I know and just focus on that. And like I said in the blog, it doesn't even always make sense. Like I don't even know what the other side looks like. I don't know. Maybe the analogy would be like to drowning or whatever. Like at sea, I don't know, and you're exhausted physically or whatever, and you think if I just relax, I don't know. I don't know what the analogy would be for salvation.
If I stop the struggle, then
mm-hmm.
Then I'll float.
Right. I don't know what the analogy for salvation would be on the sea analogy, but at some level, believing that truth, if I cling to it, and if I believe it at some level, but if I believe it and throw the other out, I guess you have to do both. You can't, because even in those moments, I know the truth, I believe it, but I won't let go of the lies.
I think sometimes it's that because feelings and lies and fear
mm-hmm.
are based on the five senses, what I touch, see, smell. And I'm going, well, that's real.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to go, no,
mm-hmm.
the word is real,
mm-hmm.
but that's the only real thing there is. I think Satan wants to get me involved in a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Because then he'll tire me out, wear me out, and then say, see, I told you,
mm-hmm.
you can't do anything about it.
Right. Whereas if, one, I don't engage, and then two, even if I do, in the midst of it, stopping it, and like
mm-hmm.
I said, throwing that out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think what has been a revelation for me lately is I used to think of Satan, like his temptation being so outlandish and crazy and obvious
mm-hmm.
that I guess the whole sheep in wolf's clothing,
mm-hmm.
it's those little they seem like little lies that I've held on to. Like, it doesn't start with you're worthless, it just starts with you're not enough for this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're not enough for this, then you're not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're not enough at all, then you have no worth. You're
mm-hmm.
worth less.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're worth less, then why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. It's like just not engaging in the first one. Like, if I am here on earth, and if I am a child of God, then there is a purpose. I don't have to know it. I don't have to know the end goal. I don't have to know anything else except that. That's
Absolutely,
it.
Kate.
I don't know.
I think you know it. People who go through this sometimes know it better than the counselors or ministers that try to tell you what it is, and it's not. I think, as you said, when you're in it, you can say, because I have purpose, because God says I have purpose. Prove it. I don't have to prove it.
Yeah.
I can't. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And either it is or it isn't. Like, I was reading recently. I think it was Christ. They were trying to trap him or something. Oh, why is that memory not coming to me? And they were trying to engage him in an argument, and it was basically like he just said it, and they were arguing or whatever, and he was just like, okay. I think maybe at his crucifixion, trying to entrap him, or anytime he engaged with the Pharisees, trying to entrap him, and he was like, this is it. Like, you can argue all day long, but this is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because I say truth is faith, and faith means I don't have to prove it because there's no evidence.
Right.
Except that I'm here.
Right.
The evidence that I have purpose is that I'm here.
And when I believe it, my life has love, joy, peace, patience. my life is full. And when I don't believe it, my life has misery and torment and anxiety. Yes. That's my proof, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that is proof. I think sometimes what we have to do is the simplest thing is to say, God said it.
Yeah.
You know, I would say sometimes to Satan when he comes and he's like, you don't do this. You have a right to do this. I said, you know what? You're right. Satan, you're right. Take it up with God.
Yeah.
You go talk to the man.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say
That's
except...
above my pay grade.
Yeah. I have nothing to say except Christ is my Lord, and I believe in him, and you're stupid, but that's all right, Satan. So I think if we can say to people, don't argue, find the truth. Lean on the truth. God said it.
Right.
Not feelings.
Right.
You know, I love the day and time we live. It's so crazy. I want to see myself as a, not a male. I want to see myself as a monkey. Well, okay, but, you know, just because you feel like a monkey, now you may be stupid, but you're not a monkey.
Doesn't make you
Of
one.
all the things else you are, you're not a monkey.
Yeah.
And if we just hold to that truth, because it sets you free.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Right. Yeah, and I thought of something too, like you were talking about proving it. Okay, if so the original lie is you're not enough. If you start trying to prove I am enough, I did this, look at this, you've already started that cycle.
Yep.
Like you can't prove him wrong that way.
Yeah, it's like you said of Christ. He's not going to argue with you because you know it's like the old thing we used to say in philosophy. You know, have you eaten enough chicken crap lately? Well, no matter what you answered, you indict yourself. Mm-hmm. So there's no way to answer the question. So don't answer the question.
Yeah. Yes. There's no validity in the question or the person asking it. So
that's right.
Why are you acknowledging
it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I really think, Katie, as you progress in these things, that you have such an insight in them. I really think coming back and writing about these things as far as saying, I went through this and this is what I did and this I touched God and God worked. And I tried this in myself and it didn't work. I think that'd be incredible because you're not alone. You're not alone. And anybody that says, I've never been depressed in my life. Okay, well, either you've been sleeping forever.
Or you've not ever known joy.
Or no joy, or you're a liar.
Yeah, or you're a liar, yes.
Great. Thank you so much, Katie. You don't understand. Sharing this gives other people courage to come out of the closet of shame.
I hope so.
And realize there's no shame. There's no shame.
So.
Solution in Christ, but no shame.
Yeah, because if it were up to me, well, you know me, naturally, I'm not the person that stands at the front of the room and talks about my problems and everything that's wrong with me. So yes, it is not up to me that what is written. So I hope it helps others. Because if not, what's the point?
I know anybody who hears it will help others. Thank you so much, Kate.
You're welcome. Thank you. I love you.
Hey y'all, thanks for joining us for Around the Supper Table. At Sanctuary Family Farms, we want to be real. Whether that's through our blogs, daily verses, or even Nana's recipes, we want to share the messages that God has laid on each of our hearts. If you liked what you heard today or want to get in touch with us, you can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Sanctuary Family Farms or our website at www.sanctuaryfamilyfarms.com, where we share our recipes and blogs and sell farm fresh beef and pork. We can't wait for you to join us again for next week's episode.